Aloha, friends and family. We are sitting out here with Elsa, having a nice meditative morning. And we have questions that we're exploring. One of them being, here goes my throat. One of them being, what is the quickest way that we can manifest? Slippery slope when you start talking about time, because we think of time in terms of movement as though time is moving. But see, time is not moving. Time is one eternal time, one eternal moment. And all the stuff that we see moving are measurements, and those measurements to us are time. So we're actually seeing eternity in motion. But what's the quickest way to manifest? And this is, of course, after we've come out of the illusion. If you're in the illusion, you're not going to have any real power over your manifestation. It's just going to all seem to happen, and you're going to seem completely disconnected from it, completely unaware that you have given over your will to an illusion, and the rest of the group that's co-creating that illusion, it'll be a distributed power. So your personal power will be very little because you've given that over to the collective, co-creative power of a collective, creating an illusion. Works the very same way on this side. See, you retain your personal power, and you can actually wield it quite effectively. Because again, you do retain it. You're sovereign in the real world. So you're not sovereign in the illusion. You've consented to all these ideas, laws, beliefs, restrictions, restraints, conformities, educational systems, on and on. All right, but in the real world, in heaven, you retain your sovereignty. So you can co-create more effectively, much more effectively. But again, our question is, what's the quickest way to do it? And this is going to involve things like emotion, passion, feeling. See, in the real world, when your feeling is genuine, the more feeling you put into something, the more powerfully, and we could say quickly, it manifests. Because you're doing it with a fully opened heart. Now let's examine closer of where the power is coming from and how it works. Well, we know it's coming from source, coming through the framework and splitting into many parts. And let us say for this one, 7 parts, 7 streams that are streaming into you, into your etheric body, into your soul, into your chakras. The chakras all lit up like a Christmas tree once again, and streaming toward your heart, and then streaming out of your heart into the external realm, into the third dimension, into the now fourth density or higher. All right, so that, if that picture is in operation within a man, you're going to be able to co-create powerfully and effectively. But let us say prior to this picture perfect vision, that we didn't have everything flowing precisely. And let us say in our passion and in our will, and being slightly out of polarity, we sent our energy streaming towards someone straight from our, let us say, root chakra. And it shocks them. So you shocked them with your chakra. And so that's less effective, because nobody likes to be shocked, right? It's like nobody wants to be electrocuted. So we can't use these 7 streamings independently out of the flow. Again, the flow is coming up from the base and down from the top and out through the heart, creating a torus field, a perfect torus field. And you actually recycle this energy. You're like a generator, recycling this beautiful, wonderful, wholesome frequency, vibration, and energy. And you're not streaming out. Let us say your heart chakra is not functioning in the flow, and you're streaming out, you're bleeding out, as it were, the energy, frequency, and vibration of the heart into your reality. And of course that probably doesn't feel good. That wouldn't feel good. And then that not feeling good would cause you to think of all kinds of different things. And see, it might even set you up to where you become comfortable with that, of not feeling good, not feeling like something's not right, but I can't put my finger on it. Not realizing that your heart chakra is out of sync, out of the flow of the procession of, again, source frequency, energy, power coming down through the layers, through the framework, into you, into your etheric body, and then all of that manifesting first your body, your physical body, and then again the rest of the physicality. That's the greater body, the earth itself, greater body. It's part of your physical body. The universe itself, part of the greater body of the earth. See, the earth is within a bigger body. We, being humans, are in a smaller body. The earth being the bigger body, the universe being the bigger body. On and on it could go, endlessly. Which shows you how big God is. It's just a way of trying to comprehend the bigness of God, or the bigness of self, because we're right smack dab right here at the forefront of this in-streaming. We are the out-breath of God. In motion, everything in motion. Again, in a timeless time, or an eternal time, or just time is eternal. When it came about, it never changed. It never moved. Everything else changes and moves. Time is just a stable, stationary substance, we could say, that contains all of this movement. So let us meditate on the complete whole body of man. See, even if you don't believe it, just go ahead and picture all mankind, all men upon the earth, as one man. Just visualize them all of us, as one man. And that one man has all of his chakras lit up, and the in-streaming from source into all the chakras, illuminating them, lighting them up. And then the man with his conscious mind in full cooperation, drawing through and from the subconscious mind, all of this in-streaming coming up from the below and coming down from above, because we're bringing the polarity of self into balance, perfect balance. And then when it gets to that heart chakra, it emits out and creates a torus field. And within that torus field, everything that's manifested manifests. So everything that you see is manifested within this torus field of this one man, which is you, which is me, which is them. Visualize him whole. Visualize him at perfect peace, at perfect love, at perfect understanding. And we could also picture this torus field around this man being the very Spirit of God, encompassing him, supplying him. And we could visualize the rest of whatever is beyond that torus field, everything else that would be there, as all of it contained in a liquid we will call love, an ether we will call love. So there's not one single thing within this vision that is not fully contained in the ether of love. If we were to extract love out of this picture, the entire thing would collapse to nothing. And there would just be void. There would just be void. Darkness and void. Add love back to this vision, and everything pops back into reality. To think anything other than that would be to go into that void. To willingly go into the void. Unless, of course, you could explain how this is not so. If you can do that, you're good. If you could do that, you are good. But see, that good would be a bad, because again, it would be in that illusion. And in that illusion, people will entertain that bad being good. See how they flip it on you? That's all they've done. Flipped it. Flipped it. And they're flipping the meaning of everything by trying to flip the meaning of words. For instance, discrimination. They've tried to make discrimination such a bad word that you dare not even think anything about the word and what it means. And what it really means is to draw a distinction between the difference of a thing or things, to recognize that a tomato plant is a tomato plant and an okra plant is an okra plant. If you can't discriminate between the two, you might think you're getting tomatoes off of the okra plant. Now we know in reality, we can see that in reality, that would be false. But the one doing it would be believing that the false thing was the real. Illusion. They flip stuff. That's all they do. So by all means, make sure you continue to discriminate. See, what they meant by trying to scare everybody with that word was that you're not supposed to discriminate based on, race, age, gender. Which is, yeah, for certain instances like employment or things like this, yeah, it makes sense there. But the fear just drives things to disproportionate, to where you don't even know what the word means and how it applies to, again, the real world, and not how it applies to the illusion, because you're not in the illusion anymore. I mean, everybody that leaves the illusion, you're not in that no more. So you're not looking at everything based on that illusion. You're looking at everything based on reality. And the illusion is a secondary thing. And it has to do with people who are doing that, again, with their free will by consent, which has nothing to do with you. Unless, they are physically violating your free will or something of that nature, which in most cases isn't really happening. It's just those people that are involved in that choosing to play out those roles and do that whole show. All right? And I don't know why we would be watching that show. That's a lame show. This show that we're watching here right now, this is a great show, because this is the real show. And you got no power over in that show, but you have all the power in this show. So make your choice, make your choice. What are you going to pay attention to? See, pay. You're going to pay. If you put attention to anything, you're paying it by giving it. You're giving it attention, which is the process of manifestation. You're literally manifesting those things which you put your attention to. And see if you can get strong with that attention and maintain the attention and put intention into the attention, then you speed up the process of manifestation. And again, visualize. You're that man that we visualized. That's got a perfectly balanced 7-stream in-streaming, and then a perfectly balanced outflowing through the open heart, you taking in and mixing the 7 colors to paint your masterpiece. I don't know how we forgot this. I have no idea how something this amazing could be forgotten. It's just beyond comprehension almost that we forgot this. And how obvious it becomes. It just becomes more and more obvious. And it's beautiful because it seems like, doesn't it seem like this is the perfect timing if we're going to, have time be a factor in all of this? Like, wouldn't this be the perfect time to remember all this? Doesn't it feel like right now is a perfect time? I don't even know how else to say it, to remember this. To remember all of this. And see, there's more to it. We're just starting to remember. There's a lot more to remember. There is a lot more to your painting. See, a lot of people might have thought, or would have thought, they're just pretty much done, with their painting, or they're wrapping it up, I did what I could do. They'd say, I'm not a very good painter. This is what I did. Whatever. No, 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 no. We're not done. You're not done with the painting. You're going to drop some amazing elements into that painting. And you're going to be like, wow, man, I didn't even know I could do this. I didn't even realize I was going to do this. But the more I remember, the more I am compelled to take the paintbrush back up, to take up the holly stick, and continue co-creating. So love and light, my friends, for this one. I can't wait to see what we're gonna add to the painting. I'm super excited about it. I just know it's gonna be, we're just gonna stand back from the painting, all of us. Because see, we're gonna realize all of us are contributing to the big painting, the whole painting. All of us are adding our parts. And when we step back and look back at it and scope it, man, we're just all going to be like, wow, man, wow. This is a really amazing piece here. This thing is alive. This painting is moving. It might even start talking. What kind of painting is this? Parts of it drip. You can smell it. I can't even, it's amazing. The smell of the painting is amazing. Everything about it. So everybody, it's a huge, huge gallery. We've got lots of seating. Everybody kick back, find you a kick-ass place to sit. Now let's all just look at the painting and just move into the painting and meditate our way into the painting and let ourselves and the painting become one.